Hey guys, it's Mizko here. If you are a designer, your design portfolio is probably the most important asset that you have for your career. First, it will help you land jobs. Second, it will also help you attract potential clients who are willing to pay you tens of thousands of dollars for new projects. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my thought process and also some recommendations for Gareth Wan's design portfolio, who is based in Toronto, Canada. He's also worked with some really credible startups who are also backed by Y Combinator. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, here we have Gareth Wan's design portfolio. I see from his headline, he is a designer that is focused on early stage startups that turns complicated products into intuitive experiences. Cool. Alright, so before we get too ahead of ourselves, we'll start at the top and I'll walk you guys through my thought process to help you guys. Hopefully you can take some of the nuggets and some of the insights and apply it to your very own design portfolio so you guys can increase your chances of sealing a deal or winning more leads with your design portfolio. So the very first part is the header. So it's very simple. He's got his name as the logo. He's got home, which I assume will just take us home. And then we have work and contact. So not sure why we have a home here, if this will take us home as well. So I think it would be nice to see a couple more pages on this website because this feels like there is not much content. And for some reason, subconsciously for me, when I don't see much content, I feel like there is not much substance or much experience with this individual. So if you can potentially break up, let's see the work. If we can add a few more pages, it could be an about section, it could be testimonials, like similar to what I have on my website. It adds a little bit more substance, and when someone first lands, they just feel like there's more to see. And when there's more to see, it just gives someone the immediate sort of acknowledgement that there is more experience, more time spent in their career, and more interest in their website. So first off, I would probably add a few more links up here. And then as we scroll down, we have a very clear headline, which is really good. I help early stage startups turn complicated products into intuitive experiences. I think it would be nice to see a few keywords such as UI, UX design somewhere in this hero section, mainly because you can never assume that clients know exactly what this means. Trust me, I've worked with C-suite CEOs who are running like 40 companies with 40, 50 employees. They don't really talk about UI, UX, design process, or all that type of jargon and lingo. But if you don't have it, sometimes they just don't know, and not having it just doesn't really help you put your best foot forward. So if you can, maybe put it somewhere here, and it'll also be good for SEO as well. On the right-hand side, we have a before and after toggle, which is nice to show the before and after of your work. But I guess the main difference, it's really hard to actually see the difference between the two designs. The before and after, I think this is probably more specific feedback for the design project itself. It would be nice to see something a little bit more dramatic, because if someone is coming to hire you, you don't want them to question, oh, okay, what did we change? You want the value needs to be instant. You want people to come here and just be wowed by how much you improved the product. Right now, it's either too small and I can't really see the difference, or the product, it looks too similar. We're using the same color scheme, the layout is fairly similar, the UI looks fairly similar in a sense as well, and there is no sort of success metric. I don't know what we improved. Like, did this impact revenue? Did we make more money? Did we get more users? Did users create more of these folders? Like, was it more engaging? Like, what was it? It would be nice to have maybe a little banner here to talk about the success of it and position this piece of work as a success. Like, it was really good for the client. Right now, it's just two images on top of each other and it doesn't mean much to me. So let's scroll further down. Then we have a nice little message here. Congrats, founder. You've worked hard for the first few months and years to find product market fit. However, quickly shipping features has resulted in a bloated product that users find hard to use and has slowed down developers. So this is good start to storytelling. And Gareth, don't know where you got this idea from. It might be from a website that I've designed myself, but I love doing this type of stuff. Like, I love storytelling and I love using copy, and I know a lot of designers don't like that. I know a lot of designers love building sites like that you see on awards.com, big fonts, negative space, minimal content, awards.com, minimal content, and just like big images everywhere. However, with that in mind, you're not storytelling and you're not communicating and you're not actually tapping into the pain points of your customer. So sites like this don't really convert well, and I am confident to say that it doesn't, because you're not speaking to the pain points of your customer. If you understand marketing 101 and fundamentals, you know that people do not just throw money at you. You need to speak to their heart, to their pain points, and their anxieties. You need to know, what are they struggling with and how are you there to help them? So this is what Gareth is doing very well. He's getting their attention, because obviously if I'm a potential client, I'm a founder of a business, right? That's why I would need Gareth's skill set. So that would catch my attention. And then he taps into he empathizes first. You've worked hard for the first few months. So you're empathizing, you're showing that you care, you understand that the journey is hard. But over the years, you have built a bloated product that users find hard to use and has slowed down developers. That is a pain point that a lot of founders face, because you're building a company, you're working very quickly, you're building stuff quickly, you're gonna break things, and things just get bloated, things don't get thought out as well. And that is really a reason why a lot of founders actually reach out to myself and do massive projects that are worth like 60, 80, 100K, because they build a big business and then they're tripping over themselves because they're moving too quickly and they don't have the expertise to really fix these problems. So great work to Gareth for starting to storytell. And then he's also quantifying these metrics. He's quantifying that because you are building a bloated product, you're increasing the support tickets and confused users. So he's further deepening the pain within the founder. As the founder is reading this, he or she is probably just thinking, yes, this is the problem I'm facing, and oh my God, we are definitely getting support tickets, and our users are getting confused, and even our dev teams are taking longer to build new features. Like, I don't understand. Maybe Gareth does, because he's hit the pain point that I'm actually experiencing right now. So this type of content is really, really useful. So furthermore, let's just scroll down. There's a nice transition and it catches my attention. How are you going to fix these issues with your current team? So let's scroll further down, and I'm feeling my initial thoughts right now is that there's a lot of text. So I love this section because you tap into the pain point. This potentially could be a video, or it might need some sort of real imagery where Gareth is potentially working with the founder in an office-like setting, and it's him maybe up against the whiteboard. He's like got some sketches, got some post-it notes to position himself as an expert that works with founders, correct? So if you take a look at my website, when you go to my website and take a look at it, I always use photos of me in real settings because it helps people visualize and imagine what your role is and how you are there to help. So if Gareth had a photo here working with a founder, it would be perfect, because then I can straight away see, and it also backs up his claim that he does do this type of support work. Now, if you scroll down, I get a little bit confused here because there's too much text and I actually don't want to read that much. So I would actually skim through this. You need a UI UX design expert with experience helping. So this is great. This calls out what is the value of what Gareth can offer. And then let's just scroll down. Hi, I'm Gareth. I help early stage startups turn Yep, so this is nice. It's great that Gareth is now bringing a photo of himself. Like, this is what I was asking for, and this is what we need to see more of. Some feedback around this, I would say you really need to be very pedantic about the details of the designs that you create. So for Gareth, this photo is really, really nice and it's a good step forward, but the posture the posture, the structure of the photo doesn't make me feel confident about Gareth. He's slouched, he's looking down, he's looking at a laptop, no eye contact. I think a lot of this can be improved where you really need to make sure the photos that you use and you take are positioning you as an authority. So an example would be, bang, my website, this obviously can be improved 10 times. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you want to position yourself as an authority. You want to be a leader, you want to be an expert, and you want to make sure that a founder of a business that's looking to hire you feels the same. So your very basic body language shows a lot and it reads a lot for them. So if I scroll further down, if you notice my testimonials on my website, all the founders, they all have very authoritative type photos. So like very confident, low angle, confident and friendly and approachable. Y Combinator speaks for itself. Don't have a photo there, but you notice that you need to make sure that you feel confident so others believe in you as well. So Gareth, I think if you want to put a photo of yourself, maybe you don't need to be on a laptop. Get a photo that's like straight on, bang, you're feeling confident, arms crossed, or whatever you feel comfortable with, but you need to make eye contact and you need to feel more confident. So this is a nice little snippet and I would definitely like this, this touch, but let's revise that photo if you want to. And then we follow down, here's how I can help you. Let's take a look at what we have here. I think here, so there's actually more. So sometimes that's why I don't really like transitions, because I thought there was just 2 services that he provided, but I had to scroll down further to notice that there is more. All right, so I do like this. I do like the fact that we have some outputs. So you have front-end development, make a design a priority, identify pain points, redesign version 1 of your product, create a style guide. However, the copy that we are using here is very outputs driven, right? So we're talking about, we help you redesign version 1 of your product, we help you create a style guide, help you identify pain points. But for someone who's not in design and someone that maybe isn't as experienced in product development, I'm not sure if this makes a lot of sense to them. Like, why are you creating me a style guide? Why are you redesigning my product? Why are you identifying pain points? Why are you making a design a priority? Like, I think sometimes we need to make sure that the messaging that we put through to a potential customer makes sense, and it makes sense for them as a client. So if we're talking about redesign version 1 of your product, why? Why are we doing that? Are we trying to increase sales? Are we trying to improve the user engagement? You need to talk about why as well. So I know that you've mentioned it in this snippet, but what catches my eye and what people will normally read is the title. So you want to make sure that the title captures their attention first. So as we scroll down, what my clients say, great to have some testimonials. Always good to maybe potentially link these to the actual person's LinkedIn. It just adds a little bit more clarity and sort of credibility to them. And interested in working with me. So let's hit contact. Perfect, so tell me more about your project. I'd love to hear more about the work that you just want to ask a quick question, email me at garethwan@gmail.com. So that's perfect, that's great. And I love the fact that he's left a bit of a snippet here to let them set the expectation on when they can expect a reply from himself. So I wouldn't add too much more to the contact page. I will probably add potentially maybe a testimonial here, like that would be great. But obviously, like, I don't have one on my site, mainly because I've built a personal brand and like I actually always have enough work than I actually can complete. So, but if you are struggling to get more work, social validation is 100% hands down one of the most important things that you need to have on your website. So 100% I would potentially add a testimonial here. It just adds that little bit more of a push for when someone lands on your contact page, because if they do land on this page, it shows that they have high intent. So this potential customer prospect has high intent because they're actually taking a look at your contact page and they most likely will contact you. So that's the update for contact. If we take a look at the work web page for Gareth, see how I've helped early stage startups improve their design. So once again, I will always give this piece of feedback is quantify your success. So see how I've helped early stage startups improve their design. How have you done it, right? How many startups have you helped? Put a number there. 54 startups. What was the general rating from your clients? Was it 8.9 out of 10? Like your average customer rating? What success how did you actually impact those businesses? Did you uplift conversion rates by 10% on average for these projects? Did you onboard hundreds of users for a specific project? For example, BioRender, Gareth said he redesigned a web application that helps scientists create beautiful scientific figures. What sort of success did you achieve for them? Were more beautiful scientific figures created? Did more scientists join the platform? What was it? Quantify your success, and I will say this in every single design portfolio reaction, because it's just one thing that a lot of designers don't know how to do, and maybe they do know, but they don't do it. So always quantify everything. If you take a look at my website, I quantify every little success I do, right? Numbers really help people quickly assess and make a judgment on what your impact was. So strategize and design, 70 plus products. Like, geez, he's done a lot. 100 million users, holy crap, that's a lot of people. Raising over 300 million, okay, he probably understands business strategy as well. Like, he's part of that process. Scroll down. What is it? Once again, I talk about these numbers again. I throw it out there, throw out numbers. Team of 15, right? These numbers really help people quickly gauge on your experience, and they also helps them process everything that you're saying without having to read so many words. And a little trick is numbers also catch the eye, especially founders who are so money driven. When you've got numbers on your page, it really captures their attention. So here I have all my logos, and whenever I talk about a client's testimonial, throw in those numbers, right? This is the testimonial, but the title is the project that I worked on actually took off with 50 million funding round after the product was created, right? This is the impact, and this is how I'm positioning the work that I did for the business. So when another client actually takes a look at this this testimonial, they can see that, okay, he wasn't just a designer and the work just just look good. The work actually opened up the opportunity. It wasn't the result of this. It helped them achieve what they wanted to achieve. So once again, Foam Wagon raises 1.2 million, right? After the product was launched and they had the beta, they went through Techstars and they got funding, right? Quantify success. Always do it, guys. So here I love Gareth to quantify the success of all his work, right? Overall, put in a few figures here. And then for each project, what is that quantifiable measurement? What is that success metric that he achieved for BioRender? What is that success metric for Vocabi? What is that success metric for Bread? Once you start to think about how your work actually impacted a business, that is when you'll start to realize more and more founders really want to work with you, because you're starting to communicate and you're starting to speak the same language as what they normally want to talk about, which is more success for their business. So we're going to quickly go through and critique and review Gareth's case studies. So we'll click into BioRender, and this is great. I think it definitely captured my attention when this loaded so quickly. Quick client, BioRender, a very quick summary of it. And I love the fact that Gareth really focused on bringing through Y Combinator. So if you click back, Y Combinator is one of the US's largest VC firms. They invest in early stage startups. They've backed startups like Airbnb. They're really, really big, and it's an insane incubator and accelerator. So because he keeps bringing that up, he adds credibility to his portfolio and to himself. Now, scrolling down, I can see that definitely there is some nice work being done. However, because the work here is so technical, I can't quite tell if this is the previous design or if it's the redesigned version. And that's just something I guess Gareth will need to have a think about and how he can position it, because it did look quite similar in the before and after. So it's great that Gareth starts with the problem, When Byrena hired me for the project, they had a fully developed web application with 10,000 users. However, it was a desperate need of a redesign. Users saw as a fun, but it was a goal to be seen as the best tool for client. Okay, cool. So obviously the problem was that, definitely that people treated Byrenda as just a fun tool, but Byrenda wanted to reposition themselves as an industry leading tool for scientists. So obviously, in my mind, if I was to pitch this project, I would have pitched a bit of a rebrand to understand, okay, what is it that the business wants to achieve, which is a repositioning of the brand and obviously also the UI and UX, and I would package that all together. So here we have the designs. So once a few screens from earlier days. So, okay, so this is actually the earlier version of the product. Got it. Cool. And then the style guide. So he talks. So I like it that Gareth has sort of gone through the process in a linear way. He's talked about the problem, bit of a screenshot, gone through and provided what he did to consolidate all the styles, which is great. Analyzed every screen. And just by the way, I'm gonna scroll up because I just have a thought. Once again, Gareth did not quantify any success or any metrics. It's always good. I'm just gonna keep hounding onto this until everyone remembers and that everyone can say, okay, I've learned this because Mizco just keeps telling me to do it. When someone lands on Byrenda, I'm a potential client, I wanna know what Gareth achieved for this client. I don't know what he achieved. Tell me, Gareth, what did you achieve and give me some numbers. And if you don't have any numbers, talk to your client, like get that information out from them. So scroll further down. Scroll further down. By grouping similar components together, I could clearly see the use cases for each component. All right, so that's good. We're walking through, we're building up the design system. So this is great stuff for a client. So a lot of clients, they know that they need to consolidate a lot of the UI design to really streamline their process. Good. So then we talk about front-end development. Oh, they were already developed in the team. I coded the... Okay, cool, documentation. So one thing that I would recommend is when you have a lot of text and there's so much going on, when someone is skimming the page, people don't resonate with the word style guide. People don't resonate with the word front-end development. They don't resonate with documentation. So I'm thinking on the fly here, guys. If you want to really capture and add value in your case study, change style guide to like, what was the value that you added to this project? We simplified the design to development handover, right? Like when I'm a founder and I'm looking for a potential designer, I want them to be able to save me time. So what is the pain point? We simplified the design to development handover process. Sorry, should be process. Notice how this is a lot more effective than just saying style guide. Hopefully guys, you get what I mean. And then you scroll down, front-end development. Like, what is it about front-end development are we trying to say? What did documentation bring? Like, what value did it bring to the project? So it could be, for example, I don't know, I'm just thinking on the fly here, reduced development time by 20%. Because why? Because and in the text you can talk about because it was so easy to. Now developers had access to a repository of documented elements and they didn't need to ask designers or other developers any questions. They can go in, copy, paste, and start building. What was the value, guys? Talk about the value that you had on the business. So then we talk through the design process, which is great. I love the fact that Gareth has sort of talked about this in a step-by-step process. And then we have the final designs. Perfect. Love it, love it. This is really good. In terms of process, step-by-step, and structure, Gareth has done an extremely good job. I'm very pedantic about copy and I'm very pedantic about value. And that is the only way you're gonna ever succeed as a freelancer, or if you wanna build like a 7-figure agency, you need to learn how to communicate value. That is 100%. Whether it's even for people as an in-house designer working full-time, you need to learn how to talk about that. Growth campaigns. Perfect. So this is more of a growth hacking type stuff, which is great. Once again, we need to talk about that. We need to drop some value here. growth campaigns is about growth. What sort of growth did you help them achieve? And I think I saw today Virona has over 200,000 users in growing expansion. Cool. So love the fact that Gareth has talked about this little snippet right here. But dude, this is the most important part or one aspect of it for a potential prospect or customer. We want to know the success of buyer render, and leaving it in a little paragraph down at the bottom that potentially that they don't even see is missing out on such a big opportunity. Like, please, I would highly suggest moving this. You could repeat it at the top of the page. Let's close this. Repeat it here, like talk about the 200,000 users, talk about the growth. When you launched the product, what sort of growth did you see? What was the percentage increase? What was the engagement like? What was the churn? What was the retention rate? There's so many metrics that we can talk about to really help you position this case study from just being a redesign to holy crap, like you really blew off the roof. Like from the redesign, you achieved X, Y, and Z. Hopefully this gives you a really quick understanding of what I mean by positioning your designs with better positioning and value. So that is pretty much a very quick reaction to Gareth's design portfolio. Hopefully you guys got some insights out of it. I went right through it, I tore it apart, but overall I think Gareth has done an extremely good job. He's added credibility where he can. He's tried to position himself really well as a UI UX designer for a specific niche, which is early stage startups. He's used empathy, he's used storytelling to really tap into the emotions of the potential client. He's done a lot of storytelling here, and he's used sort of basic and nice design principles to just make sure he brings focus to the right areas. So the call outs, the CTAs all stand out. I did not have trouble sort of following that, which is great. But overall, I think the copy could be refined a little bit. There potentially is a little bit too much copy. I would also say that if we're using imagery, make sure we think about how we're using the images in a very effective way. And if we need to take new photos, let's take new photos. And obviously with the work, we always need to position ourselves in a way that we need to communicate what impact we had on the business, because this is what your clients will want to know. They don't really care about how beautiful the UI is. That is just a given because you're a designer. They want to know, okay, if your client spent maybe $20,000 on this project, what did you help them achieve? Aside from the beautiful UI, because the beautiful UI doesn't pay the bills, it doesn't pay his team's salaries, it doesn't really do much. What was it? Did you get more users? Because more users is more money. Did the users spend more time on the platform? Because more time on the platform is more money. Did you get more customers to upgrade their plan? Because when they upgrade their plan, it means more money. This is the secret to really excelling as a designer if you're looking to freelance or ultimately build your own agency. All right, guys, so hopefully you found this video extremely useful. If you found value in it, make sure to give it a like and tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy these videos and you want to see more of them. And make sure if you also want to see more design reviews and reactions from myself, make sure to click that link up there and you'll be able to watch more design reviews and learn more so you can apply to your design portfolio. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I will see you in another video very soon.